What's good, up for debaters? Welcome. As you guys know, it's like season 2, episode 11 now. We're flying through these episodes. I'm glad we're getting out the content. And tonight, we got a very special guest, Jay, Vib. Let's give it up for Mr. Jackson, Gem Live.
Hey. Jackson, my guy, you homie.
Hey, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for having me on. Like, for real. Like, I'm just usually like in my room alone, like nerding out on some like NFL film and talking to a camera by myself. So anytime I can get with some dudes that obviously know what they're talking about, I'm all here for it. So super excited for the show.
I don't know if we know what we're talking about. That's a little bit. I don't want to mislead anybody on the show. I don't know if we would say that. What do you think, Jay?
I think I just say stuff and it's entertaining. I hope. That's basically all I have.
I think I just say stuff and hope that it's entertaining. Well, look, guys, for those of you watching the beginning of the show or tuning in late, real quick, want to flash this on the board. Tonight, we're going to do a Christmas draft at some point. That bottom, that's just getting free shit from Christmas. We're going to draft 4 teams. You guys in the comments are going to decide who wins. We'll check it out in a minute. But anyway. Jay.
His intro?
It's up for debate.
All right, let's get into it, guys. So one thing, let's just address the elephant in the room. Aaron Rodgers literally owns the Bears. I mean, it's bad. Like, every time he plays this team, you're like, oh, wait, the Bears might actually compete this game. They might win. And Aaron Rodgers just takes over, and it ends up being a 2-possession game in the fourth quarter and him flexing on you saying, I own you at your home stadium. I mean, this time they played at the Packers. I'm just saying, at your home stadium. Anyway, anybody want to take this one first? Jay, Vib?
Jackson, get some honor?
Yeah, Jackson, take it first, bro.
Oh, yeah. I got y'all. So the thing is, I thought the Packers were the only publicly owned team in the entire NFL. Apparently not, because Aaron Rodgers does officially own the Chicago Bears. And it's so funny. I just don't understand like what people aren't getting about this situation, because, I mean, what we saw the day before when the Raiders just kind of poked the bear that was the Chiefs, that kind of like danced, celebrated to their team meeting on the logo. Like, you don't poke a sleeping bear. So when Robert Quinn got up and did a sack, did the discount double check literally right in Aaron Rodgers' face. I was like, what are y'all doing? Like, he owns you. Like, that's not what you want to do. So he absolutely owns the Bears. But looking at the Packers, like, more specifically, they absolutely, I think, are the hottest team in the NFL right now. And they're my pick for the Super Bowl this year right away, just because they're getting healthy at the right perfect time. Like, a 17-game season, we're all worried about injuries and everything. And if you kind of like make it in, well, they're getting healthy in terms of the end of the season. Aaron Jones is coming back. Bakhtiari's coming back. Jair Alexander's, Zadarius Smith. And so their offense and defense is just really rolling on all levels right now. So I just really, really love what the Packers are doing. And I think we saw it on full display. And like, that's the games you need to win. When things aren't going your way in the first half, you're going to give up a punt return for a touchdown. The Bears defense, Justin Fields is rolling. Like, I mean, those are the games you need to come back and win to be a championship team. And again, the Packers just showed that they are that team in an absolute wagon.
What do you think, Jay?
Well, I'll say this. Bears are a talented team. The Bears are a good team. But if Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears, then Matt Nagy's Oprah Winfrey, because you own the Bears, you own the Bears, you own the Bears. Because, like, he just bad. Like, they could have won that game against the Packers, but Matt Nagy doesn't know what he's doing. Fourth and short in a close game, he doesn't go for it. He puts it to Aaron Rodgers, they can score a touchdown and further get there. Matt Nagy does not know what he's doing. In any game that I've seen this year, I think they played their Lions on Thanksgiving, and they somehow won when they should have lost because he didn't know what he was doing in the fourth quarter. Time management, scores, late game situation, didn't know what he was doing. Unfortunately, the Lions, they've been doing some things this year that aren't so great at the end of the games too. But sorry, I hate to do it to you. But
fans,
Matt Nagy has been terrible. You got to get rid of Matt Nagy because he's the reason why anyone could just own the Bears, and Aaron Rodgers has and still does.
What are you thinking, babe?
To be honest, they both stole literally like every single word from my mouth. You should make me. Damn it! Nah, I'm just joking. But yes, I mean, Matt Nagy doesn't know what he's doing. That's a fact. Rodgers does. I mean, I think Rodgers has. I saw it somewhere. He has like a 5.7 to 1 touchdown ratio. Or touchdown to interception ratio against the Bears. That's nearly 6 to 1 touchdown to interception ratio in like 29 games.
insane.
And he's like 24-5 all time versus the Bears.
Yeah.
Absolutely owns them. And Jay, something that you said that's kind of like interesting. It's like, I feel like a lot more in the NFL, we're getting kind of like into like this analytics and like what you should or shouldn't do. So that's why we see teams going for a lot more on fourth down and everything. And it's always been a little confusing for me because I think it has to go like a lot more into context than just the actual numbers. Because like, let's say it is like a 4th and short, like, but what if you don't have like an A.J. Dillon or a Derrick Henry in the backfield and a bad offensive line? Then those statistics aren't for you because you need to get those like 2 hard yards. Or you put it into context like, okay, maybe you shouldn't go for it right now. But guess who's on the other side of the fucking ball? It's Aaron Rodgers. Like that needs to go into it. So I think we're like, I really like that they're going more into numbers and like that's becoming more part of the game because like I love that stuff. But I really think like you need to like take into account like your field goal kicker's range, how he's been kicking, like situation of the game. Like I think that still needs to go into it instead of directly looking at numbers. So Matt Nagy, like let's say the numbers don't say that you should go for it. It's like a losing play. Also, it's a losing play, but do the stats account for that Aaron Rodgers is going to get the ball when he's been rolling in this? Like things like that, I think are like really interesting. What do you guys think about like all like the analytics, how everyone's been more?
Well, I want to go on that because if Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers or like even Patrick Mahomes or one of these guys that you know can like score if they get the ball, and it's a close game and you know maybe it's a game they're not even supposed to be in because you know like that Packers Bears game, people thought it was going to be a blowout anyway. But since they were close, you got to go for it. You can't give them a shot. It's like Madden. Me and Dahl are going live later tonight, Madden. But when you're playing an offense that just has like every weapon on offense, and you know they're tough to stop. You have to go for it if you want. If you're just shutting down the offense, yeah, we just punt the ball, score on defense or something like that. We don't need offense. But if they have a good offense, to your point, I don't care about stats. I'm not kicking the ball, punting the ball back to Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. He's a great quarterback.
It's been like interesting to watch your guys' division too, Vib and Jackson, just because like your division has like went on so many roller coasters through each team throughout this whole year. You think about the beginning of the year with Rodgers potentially not even playing for the Packers. Then the beginning of the year, the Packers coming back, like having that Jordan video that like Rodgers put on his Instagram. Don't forget about that with like Devontae Adams, like saying like Jordan year, this is going to be our last one. Then like the Packers seeming in the beginning of the season, like they were just like a regular team. Nobody really seemed like the clear-cut team. Now I'd say they're one of the Super Bowl favorites for the NFC. Then you got the Lions, who I'm sorry, Jackson, but they went defeated the whole season and tied. And then they beat the Vikings. And then you got the Vikings, who I honestly thought going into the season, I thought they were a playoff team. Like, I still think that they can be. But, like, I know Vib is, but, like, I'll even speak for the Vikings as an outside fan. Like, Justin Jefferson, I'm a huge fan of because I'm an LSU guy. But looking at that team, Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, it's almost like they're asking to make a Super Bowl run. So I think it's just a matter of time. Honestly, Vib, if it doesn't happen soon, it makes me wonder if they're going to replace Kirk.
I'd imagine it would happen within the next 2-3 years just because, I mean, unless you're Tom Brady, you're not going to have the same arm strength as you were in 3 years. You're not going to have the same arm strength as you did in 2020. So that's the reason we saw Drew Brees decline. That's the reason, and as much as I love Kirk, like he will decline to like a very, very game managerial and check down QB like Drew Brees was in the later part of his career.
Well, Viv,
I do think just to prevent that, which would stagnate us even more so than the bad coaching, bad clock management, can't keep leads, whatever, is not being aggressive with the weapons we have.
Well, I got a question for all three of y'all and anyone in the comments right now. Good quarterbacks, borderline elite quarterbacks that haven't gotten there yet, and it's been too long. Kirk Cousins and Derek Carr. Who do you think loses their job first on their team?
Kirk, because he gets less of a pass. Derek Carr gets multiple passes because interim coaching, no weapons. Waller's out, so his best weapon's Hunter Renfrow, and Hunter Renfrow's great and all, but he is not Thielen and Jefferson. No O-line, no healthy run game, and even worse of a defense. I think Derek Carr will get a pass.
And it's interesting because I just looked it up. In 2023 is when Kirk's an unrestricted free agent. So that's gonna get it just how you follow the money. It's not how good you are, but who's up to get paid next. So Kirk, are we about to sign this guy to upper 30s, $40 million for another contract for 4 or 5 years? So you really need to commit.
If anything, we're gonna sign him back for a lesser contract so we can take more people on. Because as Kirk ages, Thielen probably ages as well, and I would anticipate him retiring in 4 or 5 years. So
that is it. If he might not take that, if there's another team, just right off the top of my head, a team like the Steelers, they have Najee Harris, they have all these weapons, and if they start to build their offensive line, which is atrocious. I just did a deep film dive into Najee Harris, and it's dude, this guy is unbelievable. Can we fucking block for him? Are you? So if they can start to get that, a guy like Kirk Cousins is really appealing, where he's gonna have Najee Harris kind of be the staple of the offense. He has Claypool, Freiermuth, he has Juju. Oh my God. Who's their slot? I forget. But so it's gonna be yes, but crazy good. So I think it's gonna be a really appealing spot for Kirk because their defense is still really good, and so I think that they could go in a direction like that, someone that isn't gonna throw you out of games. What did Kirk have? 2 interceptions through 9 or 10 games. If you can protect the ball and control it, I could see if Minnesota doesn't want him, then another team is definitely going to pick him up. I still think he has a good.
Unless we draft a really, really good quarterback prospect in the first round of next year or 2 years, then I don't anticipate us getting rid of Kirk.
But I'll say this too, is that I know a lot of Raiders fans, and we know Joe Morley, we know all these Raiders fans, they can't, everyone's mad at Derek Carr. They say, get Derek Carr out of town, get the coach out of town, rebuild or whatever. Some Vikings fans are saying that about Kirk Cousins too. But the fact of the matter, just like Jackson said, Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins, the Raiders and the Vikings want to upgrade, but there's so many teams, the Washington football team, the Texans, there's a few teams out there that would love to have Derek Carr or Kirk Cousins and would pay him a lot of money because who they have right now is garbage and it's not going to work out for them. And when Big Ben's gone, like you said, the Steelers are right there. They're going to need one of those guys too.
Washington would be crazy. Imagine him going back to Washington. That would be insane. Could you imagine that?
Kirk Cousins and the football team. Yeah, someone said Denver, I think too. Yeah, but the football team would be crazy because the RG3 thing, right? So,
yeah. No, and the Panthers, I think, is another team that kind of fits that mold. A really good defense. Yes. Christian McCaffrey, a lot of good weapons on there. They need someone that can not turn the ball over. And it just seems like Cam Newton and PJ Walker are not those people. They're going to throw you, they're going to make plays and be shifty and athletic, but they're going to throw you right out of games. And Kirk Cousins isn't going to do that. He's not going to necessarily win you all the games like you'd want him to most of the time, but he's definitely not going to lose you games by throwing 4 or 5 interceptions a game.
You guys know what all these teams have in common?
Playoff hunt?
They might all need head coaching. You guys like that transition anyway?
I do like it.
Viv, let's go to your team first. I know you've been talking about it all year. I know that, let's just say it, I agree with you. Fire Mike Zimmer. What other coaches? Let's just make a list real quick and then we can talk about them. Zimmer, you guys can just shout them out if you want to. Zimmer, Nagy.
Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
Meyer, yeah, that's a big one.
Did you see the thing that just came out today?
Yeah, he kicked the kicker, right?
Yeah, he kicked.
That's his job. That's the kicker's job. He's doing his job.
In a preseason game, he was stretching, and he came out and reported that he kicked him, and he was like, "Don't you ever kick me!" And so, literally, we could go into all the things that have happened and alleged all the way back from his first things like signing Tebow and drafting Etienne in the first round. Like, that's a luxury for good teams to get depth at the running back position. Like, that's not like, he obviously has no idea what he's doing.
Yeah,
Sorry, that's my little.
He doesn't even belong in college. Like, for God's sake. Like,
yeah.
He hates James Robinson. That's what I heard. So
Matt Rule.
So we got Zimmer.
I think Matt Rule and Mike Zimmer should keep their jobs, in my opinion. But we'll go on. We'll talk about
That's
this.
one though. Matt Rule's a good one. Matt Rule, Zimmer, Nagy. Who else? Give me
Get rid of Nagy.
more.
Get rid of Rich Bisaccia, whatever his name is, out of the Raiders.
The Raiders, yeah, they're gonna have a new coach, and then one more.
Pete Carroll.
That's not a bad answer.
No, Pete Carroll should be fired.
Okay.
No, see, I'm gonna stand up for Pete Carroll, but we'll go ahead. You know what I'm saying? We'll run around the table, but I'm gonna stand up for Pete and Mike and Matt.
Really layered.
All right, so let's run it. Let's start with Zimmer. We'll just do like each, like I guess everybody try to keep it 30 seconds each. Say what you got to say about the guy. Keep him or delete him. That'll be the segment. What we'll call it. Keep or delete. Vid, we'll let you take it first. Mike Zimmer.
Delete, please delete. Please, for the love of God, please, okay? I have seen enough 2-minute leads getting blown. I have seen literally every single time we play a game, right before the 2-minute warning or the 2-minute period starts, NFL will put up this or like whichever broadcasting network will put up this graphic that says Minnesota Vikings most points allowed in the 2-minute drill. Every single game. We can't stop giving up points in the 2-minute drill before halftime and before the fourth quarter. Okay, that is why we are 6-7 as opposed to 9-4.
All right,
I genuinely think we should have beaten Cincinnati week 1. We should have beaten Arizona in week 2. But in both games we gave up. In Cincinnati, we gave up 14 points in 2 minutes.
That's not.
In Arizona, we gave up 13. We gave up 13. We gave up 2 field goals and a touchdown in 2 minutes. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna stand up for Mike Zimmer right now, though. This is why. Actually, I'm gonna use Jackson here as a good example. He's a Lions fan. Jim Caldwell, I thought was a great head coach. I love Jim Caldwell for the Lions. He got fired. And it's not his fault. He's not a bad coach. It's just there's some organizations, some franchises that they're not the Patriots. They're not these big franchises, not the Niners and these teams. But it takes them either a little bit longer and things don't go their way for some reason historically. The Browns, things don't go their way historically. Like Kevin Stefanski, I think should get fired before almost any coach we name besides Matt Nagy. So but it's because they're the Browns that I don't think he's gonna get fired. Just because the Vikings are a team like that, the Lions are a team like that. You can't really blame one person for the 50 plus years of bad football, in my opinion. So I don't know if Jackson agrees with that because he's a Lions fan. I don't know how he felt about Jim Caldwell. I like Dan Campbell. He's only won 1 game all year. I don't think he should fire Dan Campbell either. So that's I think keep Mike Zimmer. The Vikings are just not a good franchise. It's not all on him. I think eventually they'll get together, but historically they're not good.
Yeah, so I'm going to agree with the Jim Caldwell take. The fact that he doesn't Eric Bieniemy doesn't have a job, Jim Caldwell doesn't have a job, and guys like Urban Meyer's getting a job before them is insane. But I think it is kind of time to move on from Mike Zimmer for a few reasons because he's a defensive guy. And like you said, in the 2-minute drill, they can just not get it done. How you guys lost to the Lions, which I might bring up a few more times by the end of this podcast, what were they doing on defense? They were literally playing in the back of the end zone. That was one of the easiest game-winning touchdowns.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Cam Dancer played so off.
Jared Goff got a game-winning touchdown on you. That is bad.
If you're coming in from a defense perspective, and I saw this year that Mike Zimmer came in and sat down and watched film with Kirk Cousins for the first time this year, and they've been together a few years now. That is insane to me. Even if you're a defensive guy, think of Belichick. Belichick and Brady met every single week because getting that defensive perspective to your quarterback is so helpful. And so I think Mike Zimmer is a good coach. I genuinely do. But I don't know if this streak still exists, but the Vikings, the first 11 or 12 weeks led every single game by 7 or more points.
Yeah.
That's a culture thing. So, I mean, is he a good coach? Yes. The culture just needs to change, and there's only a few ways you can do that. Maybe
the clock management needs to change. The entire 2-minute strategy needs to change.
When's the last time Minnesota's had a championship team or a big time team? Because I know the Timberwolves
Wins in 1991.
Yeah, I can't blame him. Like,
Wow.
it's just a city. Get him out of Minnesota. Move him to like Vegas or wait, no, they got Seattle. They got in Seattle. I don't know where London. I don't know where the NFL needs a team. But move him out to a bigger city where they'll get some love in a bigger market. That's my last thing.
What do you think?
I
Dalton?
agree with everything that Viv just said and you guys just said. I'm saying delete. We'll move on to the next one now. Moving on, what do you guys think about Matt Nagy? Keep or delete? We'll let our guest take it first. Jackson, what are you thinking?
That's an easy delete. I mean, just like the same thing, like just a culture thing. I mean, you have fans at Matt Nagy's son's high school football game chanting Matt Nagy. So if they don't, that has to stir something. I mean, like these are humans. It's not like you can block out all the excess noise.
Yep.
And when you have an entire stadium that doesn't believe in your head football coach, even regardless of what I think of Matt Nagy as a coach, I mean, I think he can go somewhere and coach somewhere else, maybe not at a head positions, but I think he's just like a very smart football guy, might not be able to manage everything. Like I think he's a little over his head at the head coaching position. But just again, like the entire like franchise, all the Bears fans I've talked to, like they want him gone. And so like what kind of culture does that build, you know? And so like that needs to happen.
I kind of like that. I don't know what that was. I like it though.
What do you think, Dalton?
I'm going to say this, and then I'll kick it to Jay, and then we can kick it to Vib. Delete. He's, like Vib said with Mike Zimmer, I mean, Nagy's trash. Bears franchise, it's what could have been. I mean, it's almost like you wish that they had a coach like they used to have. Somebody like with a really good mustache named Mike Ditka that would smoke cigars at practice and didn't care and knew what it took to get authority from the players and inspire them. We need more Mike Ditka in the world, and we need less Matt Nagy. I'm just kidding. However you coach your team, though, you got to lead the guys. I think that there's multiple ways to do it. There is the Mike Ditka way where you're that hard coach, almost like Dan Campbell, and you're like kind of like comical, you're relatable, but you're like very, very like loud and intimidating and like you want their respect. And then there's coaches that are like Doug Peterson that buy you ice cream and talk to you in a normal voice and say, hey guys, let's go out there and let's win. You know, like, okay, cool, coach. I mean, you can curse at coach probably, and he'd say thank you. Like, there are two different styles. I'm not going to lie. Both of them have won championships, so there's not much that you can say. But Matt Nagy isn't one of them. He doesn't know what he is. That's my problem with Matt Nagy. He doesn't know what his head coaching style is. He doesn't know who he is as a person. What makes you think that he can lead the historic Chicago Bears as a franchise? What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I got on that shot. Secret Waffle, what up, man? Go Hawks. You already know what it is. Secret Waffle, what's popping? But yeah, I'm gonna say, look, I like Matt Nagy. I think he's a good guy. I heard he's a good guy, whatever. I think they need to delete him and fire him for his own safety, his own anxiety, his own mental health, because all he hears is fire. It's a trending topic on Twitter every single week. It's fire Matt Nagy. We all see it. Everyone sees it. And he hears it from his kids. He hears it from his wife. Probably hears it from like everyone. So this is the difference between Mike Zimmer. This is why I'll stand up for Mike Zimmer. I'll stand up for Dan Campbell and the Lions, your guy. I'll stand up for even Kevin Stefanski, but I won't stand up for Matt Nagy because Chicago's a big city. Chicago wins championships. Chicago's known for this. Like Chicago's this team, when Khalil Mack's healthy, could be a Super Bowl contender if you think about it. Justin Fields gets it right. David Montgomery's a beast. They have Allen Robinson. They have Darnell Mooney. They have a defense. You get a coach in there that wants to win in Chicago where the fans want to win. It's a winning city. You could have a Super Bowl. And Matt Nagy's not going to be the guy that's going to give it to you. So you got to get rid of him. Bring in someone that's really going to do. He brought some guy, Eric Bieniemy and even Jim Caldwell. Bring him back. Bring somebody, but not Matt Nagy. Delete. Get rid of him.
What do you think, Vib?
Oh, he's on mute. Hey, Secret Waffle, we're talking about Pete Carroll. So stay tuned.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. So, I mean, I think he has to delete, but as somebody with ulterior motives and who wants
keep him in NFC North.
Yeah, they can keep him. They can go ahead.
All right, that's a fair answer. Moving on to our next one. Let's see. We had Matt Nagy. We had
Matt Rule.
Yes, Matt Rule was it. What do you guys think of Matt Rule? I'll go first real quick. I'm going to say hire. We'll just do that. Hire or fire. Sorry, I don't know why I thought of that earlier. Hire. Keep him hired. Man deserves his job. He's doing a good job. He doesn't deserve to get kicked out just because they're a bad team. I think that once they get a QB, a lot of those things will change. So give the man some time. But I'm gonna say hire. Keep Matt Nagy in. He definitely deserves it. Or not Matt Nagy. I'm sorry, Matt Rule. Keep Matt Rule in. He deserves it though. And I think that I might just be biased because he was a coach at Temple. But at the end of the day, I think that he has the players' respect. That's something that I was just talking about on a serious note. I think as a head coach, it's not easy to get players' respect. So if you got it, go get it. So I don't know. That's what I got to say about that. What do you think, Jackson?
I think he's good for right now, but he's on a really short leash for me because right away I think he made a really poor decision because I could go on forever the difference between college and NFL. It's huge. I mean, most college coaches don't transition well to NFL for a variety of reasons, but the first thing he did was hire Joe Brady, another non-NFL experienced person. He needs that veteran. If he can go out there and lead a team and be this guru or something, you need someone with experience that can kind of help you make the transition to the NFL. And that's why I'm thinking I don't know if they'll ever be able to pull them away, but if Matt Rule could go out and just drop a boatload of money for a Josh McDaniels from the Patriots and bring him on the offensive coordinating staff, and that wouldn't even be too much of a sideways move because their defense is so good, because their offense is so good. I think they have a lot of pieces. I think Matt Rule is on a short leash. If he keeps making rookie mistakes like this, then I think they're going to want to move on because I think they see their best players, their window is kind of closing. I mean, with McCaffrey, he can't really stay healthy. Some good parts on their defense, they're a little bit older. I mean, they're very, very solid, but it's just something I want to keep an eye out because if he keeps making these bad decisions, especially with hiring coaches, then I don't know, maybe you need to go another direction. But right now, don't give up on him 1 year. It takes longer than that.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that. I'm gonna just say quickly, Matt Rule, think about it. He has no quarterback this year. I mean, I love Cam Newton, but hasn't really been a guy to depend on. PJ Walker hasn't been a dependable guy. Sam Darnold wasn't dependable outside of the first 3 games that were cupcake games. He's injured. He's on IR right now. On top of that, their best player, quote unquote, Christian McCaffrey, can't stay healthy to save his life for the past 2 seasons. So you can't really blame too much. Their record isn't that bad compared to their actual team on offense and talent on offense. Defense, like you said, is getting older. I think Thomas Davis is still playing on that defense. So, Matt Rule needs some pieces. So in the offseason, make some trades, get some drafted players. You know what I'm saying? Let Matt Rule, give him a few more. I give him at least 2 more years, if not a little bit more, depending on how he does in those 2 years.
I like that.
I mean, I don't really have thoughts. You know what I'm saying? These guys basically took everything right out of my mouth. Dalt, you're muted.
Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, Dalt. Let's get.
I was going to say, take this one first. Then, what do you think about Pete Carroll?
I think he should. I think he should be fired. I admire his I admire him being a nice guy, a great guy, and a great locker room presence. But I really think his coaching style is so old-fashioned, and he just does the same thing every single time. You have Russell Wilson with DK Metcalf, you have Tyler Lockett, yet he wants to establish the run with third-string running backs. And ever since that Super Bowl, that's the reason they've been declining because he ran Marshawn Lynch into the ground, and then after that, he didn't have a single healthy running back he could run into the ground.
Oh, muted still, I think.
You're mute, Dalt.
Sorry, I'm live on our TikTok too, and guys, Same Old Sports said to tell you guys hello. He joined on TikTok tonight, so I was saying
hello, what's up?
But anyway, keep going, Vib. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, but I think it's so old-fashioned that at this point he really needs to go because I think if you've only got a few years of Russell Wilson left, you want to go win in those years because you don't know if you're going to get a quarterback in the future like Russell Wilson. So to focus on winning, first thing they need to do, get rid of Pete Carroll. Next thing they need to do is trade. I would probably trade Chris. I would probably trade Chris Carson, and I might even trade Bobby Wagner for a ton of picks because they need to refresh on that defense.
What was that?
Yeah, all good points. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, well, I'll say I'm going to keep Pete Carroll. And it's probably maybe contingent on them keeping Russell Wilson because Russell Wilson, there's talks that he might go to Chicago. And if he goes to Chicago, I think that they're a Super Bowl contender at that point with the Bucks and the Cardinals and the Rams and whoever else. But I think if you keep Russell Wilson, this is the thing about Seattle. Because I know a lot of people in Seattle, I have a lot of friends in Seattle, big Seahawks fans. Everyone in Seattle loves Russell and they love Pete. And those are two, and that's the one thing that we're talking about. All these coaches, Matt Nagy, even Mike Zimmer, the other guys, the fan bases don't really like them anymore. Like Kevin Stefanski, the Browns fans don't really like them that much anymore. But people still love Pete Carroll. And Pete Carroll, like if you think about this, Bill Belichick and Tom Brady have like the most wins of all time. Sean Payton, Drew Brees, and I think it's like Shula, Ditka, and then fifth is Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson. So you keep Russell, you keep Pete. If Russell goes, get rid of Pete. If Pete goes, you might as well get rid of Russell because I don't think Russell Wilson's going to want to play with a brand new coach in Seattle. So, in my opinion, if you want to keep Russ, you keep Pete, and I think they can still do something, still make it happen. They won a Super Bowl already together. But if you get rid of Russ or the other, they might as well just blow the whole thing up and draft some new guys. Trade for Saquon Barkley and Danny Jones or something like that. Send Russell to New York, whatever you need to do. But, yeah, I think right now, at least for the time being, keep Pete Carroll. I like Pete. I like what he's doing.
Jay, did I hear you say that Justin Fields fucking stinks and he needs to be replaced? Is that what you said?
Hey, I don't care
Don't
what
stand for that Justin Fields slander.
All I'll say to that is that if I have Justin Fields on my team and Russell Wilson's anywhere where I can grab him, I'm saying sorry, Justin. Russell Wilson is that guy. He's a top 5 quarterback.
Get him. Don't do that to my boy Justin Fields.
I got Tom Brady at 44. If he's available, Justin Fields, you gotta take the next train. Tom Brady's coming. Aaron Rodgers.
Tom Brady's coming.
I'm sorry. Justin Fields is top 32.
You said Justin Fields isn't top 32?
Yeah, I said.
I don't know whether to go over this Pete Carroll thing for us or go straight into that blasphemy you just said. What the hell are you talking? Justin, did you see him? Can you see him play? Like when you're like watching him, like he's number 1 out there on the field, right? Like he's the guy that like catches the ball from the center. Like that guy isn't top 32.
Yes.
I want him to be good, Jackson. I root for him. I like him a lot. I want him to be good, but I mean, I'll see him.
I like him.
Like 30.
I like him. I want him to be good, just not on the Bears.
that he's like literally like not. This is like maybe not a great comparison, but like literally like a Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray hybrid. Like Justin Fields is going to be nice. Put an offensive line in front of him.
He's like Walmart. He's literally Walmart Kyler Murray.
Stop it. He's 230 pounds. Kyler Murray isn't going to run over a linebacker.
If he's Walmart Kyler Murray, what does that make Jalen Hurts? Walmart Lamar Jackson?
He's target Lamar Jackson. He's a little bit better.
Let's go, Jay.
He's a bargain mark.
First of all, don't compare Justin Fields to Jalen Hurts or Kyler or Russell right now.
Dollar Tree Kyler Murray. There we go.
He's 95-cent store Kyler Murray at most.
Whoa.
Like in the hood, where like the 5 is falling off of the building. You know.
Hey, y'all keep the same energy next year. I want this same exact energy.
No, I like Justin
We'll
Fields.
have it.
I will.
One thing I want to do.
All right, Viv, when he runs a train on your Vikings twice next year, bro.
Oh my God. Here we go. Anyway, look at this, guys. We're going to do this. Let me show our people on TikTok what the hell this is, what kind of graphic we got going on. Somehow we have like 6 people in there. I don't even know. But check this out, guys. So this is our draft. We keep dropping likes on the video. Appreciate y'all. But this is our draft. We're about to pick, each of us, one of these teams. Jay, how should we decide the first pick?
Let's give it to Jackson. You know, he's an honorable guest.
Okay, and then
we'll give it a Viv. Give it a Viv after that. I'll give it the next pick.
And then we'll give it to you, and then we'll take it to me. So we'll go Jackson first. With the first overall pick in the Up for Debate Christmas draft, Jackson, what do you want?
I pick one of these squares.
You pick one of these squares, you assemble a team, and then the people in the comments will let us know who has the best team.
Okay. All right, let's see. Oh, I'm going to start out with the fat man himself.
Ooh.
I mean, he's right there, number 1. I know that's going to be a juicy one. And it's Santa. 'Tis the season.
That's true, and that's a pretty good pick right there. If you guys want, you can feel free to like move over and try to get in the frame. Sorry about that. But Viv, Who do you want with the second overall pick? I mean, there's a lot of good shit up there. No pun intended.
Sorry, I was trying to fix my camera angle there so I would get in the frame. No, but I think you know what I think I'm gonna go with? I think I'm gonna go with gifts.
Oh, okay. So we got gifts and we got the fat man taken off the board. Jay, what do you think?
So this one's going to be really easy because Spider-Man's coming out tomorrow, I believe, and Venom just came out. I just bought it on my Xbox, so I'm going to go with movies because movies are always – I mean, football should be up there because that's all I'm going to do on Christmas Day or whatever on the 25th. But movies, I'm going to go with movies.
Okay, so remember what you guys have, too. Try to keep
I'm writing it down, too. I'm writing everyone's picks down.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, Jay. Look, I'm going to take a pick that I think a lot of people sleep on. It's something that a lot of people don't really think about when they think about Christmas right away. I'm taking eggnog. One time when I was younger, like when I first started drinking, I got really drunk on eggnog. I really regretted it. It was awful. It tastes terrible. Like I was like 20. It was like when I first started drinking. Don't drink eggnog, kids. It's not good. But
sounds disgusting.
I'll take eggnog coming out of the gate because I'm gonna try it again this year. Kicking it back to Jackson for the next pick.
All right, yin and yang, ebbs and flows, Spider-Man, Venom. We got to go the Grinch.
Oh!
Arrival.
I got Snipes.
All right. I guess it's back to Vib now, right?
Yep. It's you, Vib.
All right. Someone said cookies already, right?
No.
Oh yeah. All right, cookies.
All right, cookies it is. Cookies is off the board. Jay, what do you want?
You know, see, I'm not a Christmas guy. I'm just gonna go ahead and say free stuff because free stuff is, I think, good regardless of the day. You know, right? So.
Hey, bro, Jay, no excuses, bro. I'm not even Christian. All right, I'm not a Christmas guy. I'm not a Christmas guy either.
I mean, I love the Lord, but I don't love Santa Claus. But you know, anyway, that'd be different. But I'll take free stuff.
Jay's taking free shit. Look, I'm going with the next pick, and I'm going with something, once again, that's slept on. I'm zooming in on TikTok so that people can get a good view. I'm taking ugly sweaters, guys. People do not give ugly sweaters enough credit, so I'm taking ugly sweaters. All right, Jackson, what do you want, man?
There we go. All right, so single time, sad season. Is that not a mistletoe, the poinsettias?
No, there is mistletoe on here.
Oh, there is mistletoe. Did I miss it?
No,
Where's
maybe I put it on a different one that I edited earlier, but then I lost the progress on it. That's how my day went. So the poinsettias, I guess, will represent mistletoe.
There we go. I'll take it.
All right, perfect. Viv, what do you want?
Okay, I will be taking Christmas morning.
Damn, that was a good pick, Viv. That was the one I wanted. Good pick, man. What do you want, Jay?
I mean, there's a few things on here that make some sense. But you know what? I mean, I don't know what that bottom with like the little snowman thing. Snow, I think snow is fun, but I just go with pajamas because like anytime it's Christmas, you get the day off regardless of like where you're working. So kind of just being in pajamas, watching football or basketball, whatever they got on. So pajamas, I'm gonna take pajamas. It sounds fun.
All right, cool. Let's see. I'll take a pick, and then we'll do one more round after this, and then we're gonna just wrap up the show. Let's see. Okay. What would you guys take in the last round? I'm going to have to say nobody took Christmas cards yet, right?
Nope.
Christmas cards are slept on. You get to see people. You get to see how they're looking. Are they looking good? Are they looking bad? What's going on? It's an update. It's like, hey, how you been? You got to tell everybody. I don't know. I'll take Christmas cards. I'm going with them. What do you think, Jackson's kicking off the last round?
Okay, for the last round, so I lived in San Diego the past 4 years, and so I'm from Michigan, though, so very, very cold. And so one of the things I miss most is ice skating outside around Christmas time.
Bruh, I was going to take that. Damn.
Too bad.
You took my
I already know. Wait, Dalton, do you know who these players are?
Who, what?
Do you know what players are behind these?
What do you mean, what players?
Oh, I'm going to take
never mind.
Christmas trees.
I know what you mean.
Okay.
Oh, whoops.
Christmas trees?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Christmas trees.
All right, so Viv takes Christmas trees off the board, and that
Viv.
kicks it to J Fly now.
I know what kind of trees you're talking about, Viv. I know what happened to Georgia Tech. Anyway. I've been to Georgia before.
Hey,
Anyway.
bro.
He's gonna say it. Let him say it. Let him say it, Viv. You gotta say it. You gotta say it.
Stay off the weed.
You set it up perfectly, Jay.
All right, I'll pick my whatever this is. Elf on the Shelf just sounds cool because it rhymes, but I feel like there's like some kind of weird connotation to that. I don't even know what that means, so I might as well not pick anything I don't know. Let me go ahead and take that snowman thing on the bottom, like snow. What I don't know what that technically is, but snow is fun. Like
Snowman, yeah, snowman. You're good. So you
All
don't
right,
want the creep on the steep or the creep on the stoop. You don't like that? The elf on the shelf?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. You gotta explain what
I'm so mad. We're too old. It looked like really fun. Like it's like I think like the parents like hide the elf and they do like mischievous things.
So,
like
we're too old. Doing it when I got older, and I never knew what it was until I got older, and I was like, wait, what the hell is this? When I was really older, I was like, ooh, another excuse to get candy. But like, it's just weird. You're right, Jackson. People hide it. They take it. Some people freeze it, and they like do weird stuff with it, like make it look like Elsa like froze it. I've seen stuff like that, like for their kids. People get carried away, but like it's I don't know. What do you think, Jackson? Is it something that you guys did growing up in Michigan, or?
No, it was like kind of later. So I'm like old enough to like not experience it as a kid, but not old enough to like have kids to like do it with. But like, I'm excited because it looks like a lot of fun. Like people do some really creative stuff with it. But no, I never did it.
True. All right. So I guess that this is the last overall pick in the draft tonight. I'm going to say that I'm going to have to take looking at all of these.
I think I know who he's going to.
You do?
I'm going to put it in the comments and see if I'm right. Don't look.
I'm going to have to say that, damn, like there's a lot of stuff that is taken, but like, I don't think you'll get it actually, Jay. I don't think that you will.
You can take mine. I'll switch out for this one if you want.
Did you go yet?
Yeah, I did. I picked Snow.
Oh, no. I want you to keep yours. I'm going to have to take going for it. I don't know. Maybe you did get it, Jay. I'm going to say ornaments.
Nope, I didn't. I was thinking lights because lights are nice to look at.
Ooh, lights are nice to look at. That's pretty close, though. I mean, they both go on a tree, so you had the general area of my mind. But anyway, I just want to thank all of these guys for coming on tonight. I really want to thank our guest, our good friend Jackson from Gem Live. You guys can follow him on YouTube. He has a ton of great content on there. I want to thank Mr. Vib Hop Kanyadan for always coming on. Love this guy. Love his content. Diehard Vikings fan, guys, but just ton of great NFL content on his page too. Want to thank Mr. J100, J Fitty, J Fly for coming on. Appreciate you as always, brother. And I mean, without further ado, guys, I have nothing else to say. Great show as always. If you guys aren't already, please sub to our YouTube. It's the little things that matter. It takes 1 second for you guys, and it helps us out a ton, and it means the world to us. But without further ado, Vib, you want to do the honors tonight?
Why don't I? Hit the outro.